for sticking with us back with Colourful Radio. I am Asia E. Jones, and here at the UK Black Business Show. So right now, we are owning it with two fabulous people, authors of the Business Survivor Kit, and that's Cole and Bianca Miller-Cole. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
How are you finding the show today?
Amazing. It's been a fantastic week, and so far, an amazing day. Met some great people. And yeah, happy to exhibit again. And as every year goes on,
yes,
it gets bigger and better.
Event grow. So yeah, love it.
It's awesome, and it's great to see you guys here. So this book piqued my interest, the Business Survival Kit. Tell us a bit more about it.
Sure. Okay. So the first book we wrote, which was called Self-Made.
Yes.
Now that book talks about starting, growing, scaling, developing your business.
Yeah.
But having mentored close to 500 people, what we found were there were some things that they were going through that was not covered. The emotional side of business. Mm-hmm. So what happens when you fail? What happens when imposter syndrome kicks in? You know, purpose, clarity. So Bianca will also touch on a few points, but that was why we wrote the second book. Maybe you can fill in some other parts as well.
Yeah, certainly. I think for us, it was about giving practical information on how to survive and thrive in business. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be so easy to just look at the kind of metrics of success and the financial gain from being in business, but not consider the impact it can have on you as an individual. And so for us, it was about giving that really clear, actionable and tangible points on how to survive and thrive, whether it's anxiety, stress, imposter syndrome, goal setting, time management, managing stakeholders, networking, you know, managing your romantic relationship when you're running a successful business. All of these things can have a huge impact on that business's success, but also your personal success in your personal life.
I like something you mentioned about when a business fails, because I think, there seems to be a gap there. People tell you what you need to do to make a business survive, but the reality is sometimes you might go on a downward turn. So can you tell us a little bit about, just very high level, without giving too much away about the book, some tips and what people can do or what they can expect in this book to guide them through if they're going through a business that is not doing so well.
Excellent. So first of all, I'll say the book is written by two entrepreneurs that actually have experience and have gone through the journey of growing, scaling, and even selling businesses. So we're giving people practical resources from our own experiences, but also other people within our community. So we've got a lot of industry experts in there as well. So I guess that's the route and the angle that we came through to make sure that people are able to not just survive in business, but also thrive in business. I don't know if you want to add to that, Mrs. C.
Yeah, I think certainly that's what it's all about, just really providing that clarity. I think, chapter 1 for us is purpose, right? So how do you define your purpose? And even if you do fail, looking at failure and reflecting in a different way, which is it's a learning curve, it's an obstacle to overcome, as opposed to failure being a stopping point. And I think it's so important that we think about that journey and how that journey sometimes manifests itself in being a changing route as opposed to a straight line. And so I think for us, that's why we really, really reflected on failure and how we can overcome it.
Okay. So I know you mentor people and you hold talks. And how can people connect with you from learning about the book, but how can they connect with you to get mentorship, to get advice?
So there's numerous ways, really. We're both on social media. We're both kind of, out there on Instagram and the like, but also go to our website, selfmadebook.uk. It's got all of the information there about not only our mentoring program, but we're launching this week a networking program to help more like-minded people come together to network, to learn, to earn money, and to really support each other in growth. Because I think one of the things that is a sticking point for many entrepreneurs is not having that right network. That support system that will help you to create that sustainable and financially viable enterprise. And so for us, it's about providing really good, tangible products and services that help us as a community get ahead. And for us, that's what it's all about. So selfmadebook.uk.
So if I can ask for one tip when it comes to, because you always hear people say, don't work with family, that's like first rule of business, it's a disaster,
I mean, we're a married couple, so
yes.
I don't know if I agree with that one in its entirety.
How do you, what's the one thing that people, again, I don't want to give too much, because I really think this is an important book for every business owner, or if you're in a relationship working together. I think it's a good book for you to pick up. So I want to know, what are one thing that you would say that, yes, it's the key to success, working together?
Just to answer the first part of the question, when you was talking about be careful who you work with.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that is very important. Sometimes we're very quick to work with friends, family, partners, and I think sometimes when there's no commercial, it's not always a commercial exchange, but you have to be so careful who you work with, because if they're your friend, I rather you are my friend than my business partner. Unless you are bringing some real expertise and some time or resources, we can just be friends. We can just be a couple. And I think sometimes you're in danger of jeopardizing your relationship by going into business with that person if you don't have clarity. So one of the tips I always say is outline from the very beginning who gets what, but also whose role and responsibility it is to do what. And then what you'll see sometimes is, okay, there's a disparity here. I can put all the time in, I've got the resources, you're just my friend who helped me think of the idea and the brand name. Okay, great. Well, maybe you just need to take 5% and just keep your 9 to 5 and forget about it.
Yeah.
All right? So sometimes when you're talking about, coming together and working, that would be one of the tips I would give people.
And then I would say from a romantic relationship perspective, or even if it's with someone who's a friend or family member, it's about having that clarity over what your goals are and that vision. Yes. That collective vision is very important. So in chapter 2, we talk about goal setting, but we talk about it from the perspective of how you identify your goals and make really tangible goals. But we also then talk about it in the relationship chapter from the perspective of having a combined vision. So Brian and I will write our goals independently, but we'll come together and we'll say, okay, well, what are your goals? What are your goals? Great. Well, what is our vision for us together? And how can we support each other in pursuing those goals? And I think sometimes people come together in business without clarity over what each person wants from that business. And that's where there becomes a problem, and it's destructive, because actually, you've not been clear about what your roles and responsibilities are, how quickly you expect to get there, why are you doing it, is it for money, is it for purpose, what's your why? And that clarity in those goals will help you to have that better communication flow that will then help you to be more successful.
I'll just add one quick top tip for goals. So in the book, we talk about the step-by-step guide to helping you achieve your goals via goal setting. And one of the items on there that I really enjoy is, who do you need within your community or network to help, which stakeholder would help you achieve what you need to achieve by having them in and helping you, supporting you, being a part of whatever it may be. Like, who is the number one person that you need to help support that?
Yes.
Yeah, but also, I'll give you another one. What is the key skill that you need that you don't already have, that you need, that will help you take you to your goal or said goal quicker or faster? So all the gems are in the book, the step-by-step process, because sometimes people don't realize how to goal set. They just I'm just going to set my goals and I'm going to make it happen, and that's great to take that initiative. But now the professionals, the ones who really achieve what they need to achieve, they have a process. And the process is very easy, very clear, very quick, but it needs to be just done.
Thank you so much, Brian, for those tips on goal setting. Goal setting is absolutely key. I totally agree. Now, today at the UK Black Business Show, your stall is where? So for those who are, because we're live, so for those of you who are around, who are listening, and you want to speak to Bianca and Brian, where can we find you?
So on the 3rd floor, and it's number B3, so stand B3. So when you come in, you can't really miss us. I don't think.
No, it's kind of directly
it's kind of directly behind where we are, so yes.
Yeah, so that's absolutely brilliant. The other thing I wanted to ask you is, what does it mean, because we're talking about owning it, what does it mean to you both as a couple or individually? What does owning it mean?
Is in the product or service, or what do you mean? So I just want to get some clarity.
When you own it, what does that mean to you?
I guess, so you can say it in a sense of being confident, or you can say it in a sense of owning a product or service. Well, I would like to first talk about ownership.
Yes.
Right? So I think a lot of people say, I want to own that product or that service or my business in its entirety, 100%. For me, I'm happy to partner with people. I'm happy to give you 5%, 10%, 20%. because it means that if you're bringing your expertise, your knowledge, your experience, your audience to help achieve the goal quicker,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And I think sometimes as a community, we forget that, okay, you know what, together we can go far, as they say, you know, and alone we can go quickly. So I think it's so important just not to be too bogged down with ownership. Yes, we should consume the products that we own, but I think when you're talking about going somewhere far, then do it together.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. So the book is out.
Can I add mine?
Yes.
You were itching. You wanted to.
No, I was like, I don't mind, but
Yes,
It's time.
yes.
For me, owning it is owning my personal brand, owning who I am authentically, what I bring to the table, and absolutely my purpose and why. So for me, my why is helping people to understand their goals and define their goals and make it happen. So in all of my businesses, I've pretty much help people achieve their goals in their career and their business. And so that's my brand. My brand is also me being adaptable and being able to help a variety of different stakeholders at different times. So it's owning who I am as an individual, my story, my journey, and how I can make the very best of that for the future.
Love that. Owning my story, my journey. So the book is out, The Business Survival Kit, okay, by Cole and Bianca Miller-Cole. You can pick up the book from any major book outlet.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, and you can also follow them on the social as well, and they're also here at the UK Black Business Show. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Our pleasure.
On Colourful Radio. Much
you.
appreciated.